à-bas-le-ciel.
I mean, I became vegan just in January this year, and the main reason that I became vegan was for ethical reasons. Not that I even knew anything about ethic, like knew anything. I didn't know anything about veganism, but it was through doing some yoga, and also, you know how yoga is kind of intertwined with sort of Buddhist philosophy. And I'm not even going to talk to you about Buddhist philosophy because I don't even know much about it, but and I know you do. However, you know that it was all this kind of the ahimsa and non-harming, and the more I read about it, the more I was like, I can't. And I studied earth science at university for a bit, and I was like, I'm really into environmental issues. And then I was like, I can't call myself an environmentalist or an animal lover, and I'm still eating this and I'm living this unethical lifestyle. But I was scared to go vegan because of my eating disorder, and I thought that veganism was this weird eating disorder thing. But then I looked a wee bit more into it, and I was like, I can't live like this anymore. So I just overnight I went vegan. And then since then, I went online to kind of search for things, and you know what happens when you Google vegan, you get a banana girl in front of you. And so that was kind of obviously the path that I went down. And, but, just in the last month since I've found your content, that's opening my eyes to a lot of things. That's opening my eyes to issues that have never even crossed my mind before. Even the thing like the pet ownership, I I'd never even thought about that as being,
Right.
it's just something that's so natural. Everyone's got a bloody dog or a cat, pretty much. So I hadn't even thought about these things, and now it's like your content is just making me think and seeing the world in a whole different light, and that's what I really needed. Not just to help me be a better person, a better vegan, but to help me actually recover and pursue recovery. Because when you've got an eating disorder or any sort of illness or addiction, quite often you get stuck up in the poor me mentality. And what was your video the other day that you done? Oh God, what was it? You done a video that was quite something about suffering. What was it called? And then that just spoke to me, and I was like, wow, that is like exactly how I've been, like kind of really just caught up in my own problems and my own issues and poor me. But then
Yeah.
now that when you become vegan and you become aware of all the other issues that are going on in the world, and a lot of the things that you bring up in your videos, it's like my problems are so insignificant compared to this. And now it's like I'm every choice that I make is not just for me. It's not all about me anymore.
Yeah.
In fact, it's hardly about me at all. I'm not the issue. The issue is making the world a better place. And you've got no idea how significant that is for someone who's recovering. It's a game changer. It really is a game changer for me. And I don't really know how to describe it or if it's even making any sense.
À-bas-le-ciel.
I remember it was not too long ago that Durian Ryder and the illustrious Julia Bohr were both claiming that somehow I was in a sexual triangle with like you and Julia. That like at the same time I was trying to seduce like you in Scotland and Julia in Chiang Mai, and they were constantly including you in the category of underage girls. So like
Yeah.
the amount of imagination involved here is like one that you're supposed to be. I don't even know how young. 15? Like I don't know.
I know, like 10 years younger than I actually am. But the thing is, like, just thinking about it now, it's so absurd and just ridiculous.
Right.
God.
And that I could be sent to prison for this. You know, if there was a guy doing that, if there was a guy trying to seduce you and Scott, I don't know, maybe he'd be a nice guy. Is that really like a criminal?
I know. Oh my God. It's totally not. And just the thought of it is just so ridiculous. And the fact is, like, even when I like spoke to Dorian Ryder, there was nothing to even suggest that. He just came out with it himself. he made it all up in his mind, which just shows like his mind, doesn't it? It just shows like what his thinking is all about.
Yeah.
Because even Julia herself didn't think anything
That's
of that kind of nature, and neither did I.
that's
And so
that's
it was all
true.
conjured up by Harley.
That's true, but at one point I remember Julia was kind of elaborating a story on her blog that I was this mystery man who was seducing a tremendous number of women in Chiang Mai. She invented a kind of fantasy life for me.
That is true. That is true.
But she did not fancy herself as being the main object of my desire in those fantasies. I was apparently just trying to get as many women as possible. So, this reflects the creative potential of Julia as an author one day. I hope she goes on to become a romance novelist.
Permanent vacation lifestyle.
Oh, it's Lauren, it's such an irony. I don't think I've told you this. I've told a few people. But my parents actually asked me if I wanted to do that. Just a couple weeks ago, they were like, "Oh, well, seeing as your job in China didn't work out, do you want to just take a year off and live in Thailand?" And like, and they actually said to me, and they're like, your income from Patreon is probably enough, and we can help you out. They'd help me out if I had a problem or needed an airplane ticket or something. And it was like this.
Oh, no.
This is the opposite of everything I believe in.
Everything that you stand for, that is just the opposite. I can just imagine you bringing out a video and saying to people, "Yeah, so my parents have, just kind of offered me to kind of look, pay for me and everything. So I'm just going to take a year out in Thailand." I could just imagine that video. That would be.
And I'm gonna move in next door to Vegan Ava and Joe Best.
Oh no, no way.